boom of dimensions and for hire. There's a lot of little things today. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Set intro begins this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get the chance to see what Doom of Dimensions has, and we've already seen box openings queued up on YouTube for Monday, which means we're probably going to see reveals Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's an interesting take that Konami's been using the weekends to monopolize more on the sets, and leaving a comment down below when you walk away with a booster pack as per usual. All right, so Monsters for Hire. This is actually kind of cool because now I know that these are based on Final Fantasy. I kind of want to play the archetype a little bit more, but as you can see, a lot of For Hire enthusiasts have come through here today. Been picking up secret rare copies of Beat from Dark Saviors. You are down to 29 listings on this front for Beat, which is not surprising. Mayhem for Hire being the other copy of, I guess, expected value, because what is it, $9 for a playset of Beat, $7 for a playset of Mayhem for Hires, and those are the two top-end cards in this set. And then automatically after that, you drop down. Raphael from 2019 tins is $1. It's kind of crazy, along with Mayhem for Hire from 2019 tins also at 50 cents. You can get Beat for Hire in the 2019 tins also for dollars. I guess give or take, yeah, 91 cents. It's close enough to $1. Raphael from Dark Saviors coming in at like 40, 50 cents. And then, of course, everything beyond that point in the For Hire department just massively drops down. Fogo is probably the only other one that kind of matters. The tin version is like 30 cents. You can get the super rare coming in at about 30 to 40 cents. Dawners are also 30 to 40 cents. But the rest of this, I mean, the more niche ones like Zagatia and Dinah, which were like the, I guess even Seal, are all just side deck options really at that point. So one good piece with the For Hire stuff is you're not going to get punched really hard to pick up copies of these cards. They rationally are a very, very cheap deck that you can actually work with and be able to pick up. So I consider that a win in regards to availability and what's going on. Yeah, Beat has gone up a lot, but you don't need to have max ready. You've got commons in order to play this deck. There's not stopping Konami from actually pushing, well, excuse me, you have an Ultra. You can push out commons later in like an OTS pack or something to bring down the value for this. Bao A Qu. So, Bao bottomed out at $8. You guys definitely missed out on an opportunity. $8.44, $8.39 were probably your low points. They rebounded back up to about $14. Well, the reason for this is because, you know, you've got Fiendsmith cards that need this deck right now. A lot of hype around Lacrima possibly coming back. You just got, you know, the Magical Musket stuff as well. You know, the new card actually really helped that deck out. And then to a lesser extent, you got the Fiend stuff that basically got announced yesterday. That it just one more piece on the belt that you can actually work with here. And that's a lot kind of going forward. As you can see, just on 9.10 and 9.9 and even 9.8 alone, copies of these have been moving. I think that this is a pretty consistent piece across the market for what you're seeing. Shaddoll cards. Well, first of all, Squamata is coming in at $1.30. I don't really think that's necessarily too much. The cool news about Squamata is you don't have to get the high rarity. You can get 25 cent, 35 cent. I guess the Shaddoll Structure Deck version is like 40 cents, which a little bit more than I would want to be tossed around. But, I mean, you've got a pretty good amount on that. But Beast is the one that still is just winning records here, man. And Astral Pack Beast is still coming in. I mean, you have a market price at 11. These have definitely trudged down a little bit. Yeah, you're down to like $6. The fact that these have actually kind of dipped down is pretty good. Meanwhile, I can get a Battles of Legend Ultra Rare now for like $3. I guess all of the hype that we were initially seeing with this, especially, you know, with the Fusion decks, Draco Tail, you know, playing this in combination with Winda, I guess that hype has kind of rolled off into the sunset a little bit. It's still here, all right? That's not changing. But it's calming down enough that you can actually pick these up and do good things with them. Heavy Polymerization. You know, coming off of Worlds and the most recent success with this deck in the OCG, I am absolutely just dumbfounded with how much this card just stays populated on the market now. You've definitely arched up to about $13. I mean, you guys remember what? Before all of this Lunalight hype, this was a $4 to $5 card. You bottomed out at what, like $4.62, which is crazy, and then you've gassed back up. There was a time where you could have bought a play set of this for a decent amount, which now, I mean, $28 to $42 for a play set of this. If there's a card that needs a reprint, it's definitely Heavy Polymerization at this point. The End of Anubis. So, there's a lot of little things that tend to push around on the market. End of Anubis is one of those oddities, considering that this version is from DR2. Also, the End of Anubis has always fit the bill for one of those very unique Floodgate cards in the way that it's able to act. Because as long as this card's face up on the field, all effects of spell, trap cards, and monsters that designate a card or cards in the graveyard or that activate in the graveyard or negate. It's basically a Necro Valley at home without, you know, just being Necro Valley. But for this more niche rarity, you're solidly looking at about $4 a copy, which is nothing particularly crazy. Disc Blaster, the Negation Fortress. If I do recall, our dear friend here did get a reprint, actually, which does kind of help his case a little bit here. Yeah, you did get the secret rare printing of this, which is about 70 to 80 cents, which the Ultra still solidly a $2 to $3 card. Now, the reason why I bring this up, we do have Pure Canine coming around the corner, and this might be something that people kind of want to build into the deck as an idea to be able to work with. Now, obviously, you know, we have Chaotic Elements, we have 7 Tachyon. Our toolbox of options that we have is very much greater than what we had before. So Disc Blaster might be something that gets left out. I'm not really sure where we're going to go post next set, but for all intents and purposes here, I wanted to bring that up because there is a lot to be seen and a lot to work with on that front. Ancient Gear Statue. God, these are so cheap now. You know, Maze this year was a set of all time. It definitely has a lot of issues, but just kind of looking at how the back burner's going, if you were wanting to build Ancient Gears at this point, statues are abysmally cheap. Like, you're looking at $7 a playset, literally maybe even less than that, including shipping, which is kind of cool. Volcanic Rocket, Force of the Breaker. Let's go for first ed here. You are looking at, you can get a Razo Volcanio. Oh, that's really, really cool. That takes me back. You're solidly looking at what? $72 a copy here, which is pretty much to be expected, I feel like. Yeah, these first eds really do ramp up. And then, of course, Torrential Tributes, Blue Duelist Leagues. Yeah, if people say, you know, Duelist League cards don't retain some sort of value, they're crazy, because these cards do absolutely wonderful. And also, Toon Dark Magician Girl from Sneak Peek. If you were wanting to get a near mint copy of this card now, you are looking at $34 on up to $35 with a very quick jump up to $50, which is kind of crazy to see something like this. But, I mean, this is also just the power of collectability doing exactly what it needs to do. So what do you guys think about today's market. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.